Today I'm going to show you 3 easy finger drumming beats.
Free beat.
Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Free Beat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, let's get started. So, you have been asking for a finger drumming tutorial for a while now, and while I'm still not yet comfortable creating a full-blown finger drumming tutorial, what I am going to do for you today is show you 3 easy finger drumming beats to help you get started. Now, these beats are actually very, very simple, and they are just really intended to help you start developing a few skills that I have been able to take with me and expand to the next level. I'm sort of actually treating this as if you all are intermediate level drummers. The reason being, finger drumming is a little bit easier than real drumming, so rather than start at like the absolute beginner level, I figure that starting off around the intermediate part is going to be a little bit better use of your time. So I've got this drum kit pulled up here. This is part of the Pro Studio Kit package from mpcsamples.com, shout out to them. But this will work on any device that allows you to play drums with pads. So pocket operators, Electron devices, Roland stuff. You know, there's a million devices that let you play drums on pads. And that statement is especially true in today's video because we're only going to be worrying about 3 sounds. So we've got a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat. That's all you need for today's beats. And these 3 beats, like I mentioned, are meant to kind of lead into other areas. So there's one very, very simple beat, and then there's 2 beats that are a little more advanced that are basically just the opposite of each other. So really quick, before we begin, I do recommend having your kick drum and your snare drum on one hand and your hi-hat on the other hand. That's going to make separating the pieces of the kit out in terms of the beat a little easier. So this is the most simple beat of all of these 3. Here's what it sounds like. For this beat, we are going to begin with the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like that. That's going to be the basis for a lot of your beats, actually, finger drumming wise. So as long as you can count through it like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's going to really help you figure everything else out. Now that we have some numbers established to our beats, we are going to start putting in our kick drum. Now our kick drum is going to go on beat 1 and beat 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 if you're having trouble at this point, that's totally normal and totally okay. I recommend just working on the hi-hat at first and just keeping those 8th notes, which is what those are, nice and consistent. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So once you're comfortable with the hi-hat and the bass drum, it's time to add the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. So let's do it without the kick drum first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's combine the bass drum, the snare drum, and the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. There's your first finger drumming beat. Depending on what tempo you're playing this beat at, it can work in a variety of different genres. Let's slow it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's speed it up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Getting this basic beat down means you'll almost always have something to play whenever the song is in 4/4 time and just requires a simple beat. You'll almost always be able to apply this in some way, shape, or form. So the next beat is where we start to get into the intermediate side of things. So let me play it for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So as you can tell, we are adding a second bass drum hit after both of our bass drums on 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... We're actually adding a 16th note after our first note. Now, 16th notes are usually counted as 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and... So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So the E's and the U's come in between the ands. So there's another note hidden in there essentially, and that's where we're going to put the bass drum. The reason I decided to go with this beat as our second one is because it's going to help work on your quickness, your dexterity with your bass drum hand, because that's a very important skill to have. Now you can finger the beat however you want it. I recommend kind of using the same finger when you're learning for both the kick and the snare. I recommend against doing 2 fingers to get those bass drum hits. The reason being is when we start increasing the tempo, it's going to be a lot harder to get 2 consistent bass drum hits out of 2 different fingers. So let's give this beat a shot. We're going to start out very, very slowly. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. We can take it even slower if you'd like. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Once you become more comfortable with this pattern, a good tempo to play it at is around right here. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. This one is going to be a bit of a struggle at first, especially getting the independence between the 2 bass drum hits and the hi-hat staying at that constant pulse. Of course, like all of my tutorials, feel free to pause and go back and rewatch things as many times as it takes for you to wrap your head around them. Okay, so let's move on to the third drum beat. And I'm just going to show it to you right now. It's very similar to the previous one. So as you can see, rather than having a double hit on our bass drum, the faster double hits now go to the hi-hat. So we're going to work on a little bit of finger speed with the opposite hand now, provided that you have your kick and snare hand separate from your hi-hat hand. Hi-hat hand, that's a fun one. So this time let me play the beat slower for you, and I'm going to count through it. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. This time we're going to be playing our 16th notes, the faster notes on the hi-hat, on the anda of 2 and 4. This is going to allow the pattern to kind of have a turnaround feel. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. You'll notice that the kick drum and the snare drum are doing exactly what they did in our very first pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So this does require 3 very fast notes on your hi-hat finger. So let's count through this with just the hi-hat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now let's combine it with the kick and the snare. The kick again on 1 and 3 and the snare drum again on 2 and 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. The neat thing about this pattern is, like I said, at slower tempos it gives you kind of a nice turnaround feel, and at faster tempos it gives a little bit of a drive to the hi-hat. Pattern number 3 is going to be the most difficult of the 3 that we've looked at today, but I promise you that if you stick with it, you will get better at it and it will become more consistent. Practice slow. That's my number 1 piece of advice for finger drumming. Practice slower than you need to on all of these patterns. Also, spend more time on these patterns than you think you might need, especially the first one, laying down that simple pattern is the foundation for all of the finger drumming beats that I showed you in this video and a lot of the beats that I'm going to show you in future videos, which, yes, there are going to be sequels to this video. I hope you're looking forward to it. We are going to get more in depth as this little mini series goes on. So I do hope you found this video informative and helpful. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I will get back to you. My goal is just to help you figure out finger drumming and discover this awesome little art form that I have completely fallen in love with. So if you did like the video, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's perfectly okay. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.